Kell Brook did this interview a couple of days ago with IFL, and he's clearly in this video upset with Eddie Hearn because of the fact that Sky have not picked up his fight with Terence Crawford. He's yet to announce what network will show it in the UK. He says people in the UK will be able to see it. It just won't be on Sky. So we'll have to wait and find out. But he seems really upset with Hearn because Hearn controls the Sky Sports boxing budget. And according to Hearn, and the IFL interviewer Umar also mentions this to Kell Brook, Hearn did apparently make some kind of offer to Top Rank in terms of buying the rights to the fight to show it on Sky. But Top Rank weren't happy with the offer, or the offer came in too late or something like that. And Brook brings up the Golovkin fight, and he said he got Eddie Hearn out of jail. He saved Eddie Hearn's show in the past by jumping in and fighting Golovkin. Although Kell Brook did offer to fight Golovkin previously, he did ask Eddie Hearn for the Golovkin fight previously by his own admission. So, I don't know. The main point I want to make here is this just reinforces what I've been saying for years. There should be no loyalty in boxing when it comes to the way a fighter looks at promoters and managers, TV networks and stuff like that. Because when these promoters don't need you, when they think you're over the hill, when they think you're past it, they're not going to pick up your phone calls anymore. Kell Brook says he hasn't heard from Eddie Hearn since his last fight. And if Kell Brook is still somebody who Eddie Hearn looks at as being important, as somebody who is of value to him, then why wouldn't he call the guy in all this time? Why wouldn't he have had a conversation with him? Now, there could be other issues behind the scenes. And look, I'm not going to divulge what these rumors are, but I've heard several rumors about Kell Brook over the years from people who are from Sheffield, and all of the rumors turned out to be true. But this other rumor, which I was told by somebody, is very controversial indeed. And it pertains to the fact that Kell Brook was out of the ring for, what was it, a year or more? And yeah, this individual told me the reason, the alleged reason why Kell Brook was out the ring for that long. Now, if that turns out to be true, would that then explain Eddie Hearn's behavior? But not really, because Hearn did promote a Kell Brook fight after that situation, that alleged situation. So, I don't know. As I say, at the end of the day, in boxing, you shouldn't get too attached to the promoter. It is just business. You might have a charismatic promoter like Eddie Hearn who acts like he's your friend and all this kind of stuff. The one good thing with Hearn is that you often get the opportunity to work with him on a fight-by-fight basis rather than get tied into long-term contracts. Because as we're seeing at the moment with Murat Gassiev, he's trying to get out of a long-term contract. That long-term contract has kept him out of the ring for a long time because of issues with his co-promoters. And now he's being sued. Whereas with Eddie Hearn, all the fighters I've seen who have left Eddie Hearn, it's just been a clean break. There's been no court cases or anything like that. And that is the double-edged sword to working with Eddie Hearn on a fight-by-fight basis. Yes, you can walk away whenever you want, but at the same time, when he doesn't see much value in you, he's not going to be calling you and offering you fights. And to me, it seems quite clear that Eddie Hearn doesn't really believe Kell Brook can beat Terence Crawford. If Eddie Hearn truly believed that Brook was going to beat Crawford, this fight would be on Sky. And I know Sky have got a load of other pay-per-views happening, like Usyk Chisora, like White Povetkin 2, like AJ against Pulev. I get it. They would either rearrange one of those pay-per-views for a later date, or they would scrap one of those pay-per-views altogether and put Kell Brook on as a pay-per-view, or even if it isn't a pay-per-view, maybe just put it on regular Sky. If Eddie Hearn truly believed that Kell Brook was going to beat Crawford, that's what he would do. In my opinion, anyway. He's not doing it because he doesn't believe Kell Brook will beat Crawford. And I tell you what, if Brook does beat Crawford, I wouldn't be surprised to see Brook maybe go into a different promotional outfit. I know he was with Frank Warren earlier on in his career. As with many ex-Warren fighters, he might not have a very good relationship with Warren, but there's the potential he might hook up with a different promoter, some in a different country, or work with other promoters on a fight-by-fight basis. I don't know. But he does seem very put out and very hurt by the fact that Eddie Hearn has basically forgotten about him, doesn't seem to believe in him. And he feels like he did Hearn a favor at least once in the past to get him out of, an issue. And he feels like Hearn should return that favor. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Have you seen this interview with Kell Brook? He's fired up. And he also responded to Carl Froch, because Froch said that Brook is just looking to cash out. And maybe Carl Froch has got a point, because it does kind of look like that from the outside looking in. But if Kell Brook is truly motivated, and if the guy he's working with at the moment, the trainer, is any good, Kell Brook might produce a performance out there in America. A performance where he could possibly win, or where he could make it very close and potentially controversial. And that would allow his stock to shoot up through the roof. And at that point, the likes of Carl Froch will be eating crow feet. Eddie Hearn will be straight on the phone to Kell Brook, won't he? He'll be straight on the phone to Kell Brook if Brook either beats Crawford or puts in a very good performance. Now, Kell Brook says that Eddie Hearn has been in contact with members of Brook's team. I'm guessing it's Kell Brook's dad who's been in contact with Eddie Hearn, or perhaps it was MTK. I think Kell Brook is still with MTK, isn't he? So there have been people in Brook's team corresponding with Hearn, but he says Hearn hasn't, personally reached out to Brook himself since his last fight. So I don't know, make of that what you will, and let me know what you think about Kell Brook's position here. I think that Brook should channel his frustration and his anger into his performance, which I'm sure he's going to do. And he should look on the bright side, because after this, if he manages to win or just put up a very good performance and his stock rises, he can then go back to Hearn. Well, he doesn't need to go to anybody. Hearn is going to come to him, and all these promoters, maybe Bob Arum, will come to him and say, how much do you want for your next fight? We can do this for you. We can do that for you. And Brook at that point can be selfish, He can say to Eddie Hearn, I feel slighted by the fact that you didn't get this fight, that you didn't back me because you didn't believe I could beat Crawford. I want X amount of money, Eddie, if you want me to fight on your next show. And there's definitely not going to be any long-term contract. It's still going to be on a fight-by-fight basis. But for my next fight, I want X amount of money. So he can look on the bright side. All he has to do is go out there and produce a performance where he makes it very close or he wins, and he's right back in the picture and he's in a great position. So let's see how how Kell Brook does against Terence Crawford. Let's see if he can make a lot of people eat their words. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.